third stimulus package. It's called the America Rescue Plan that gives a $2,000 stimulus check, well, $1,400 if you already got $600 to millions of Americans. Hazard pay, SNAP, hazard pay, SNAP, some business grants, and some FPUC, but not the number you wondered. But as I've been reporting, $10,000 will likely be landing in your bank account if you applied for an EIDL grant in 2020, did not get it, under the second stimulus package, the Mar-a-Lago stimulus package. The confusion of where we're going from second stimulus to third stimulus package, or now the America Rescue Plan, is all explained in this video. We do not have the bill yet. It's not law yet, but all we have is a press conference. And a lot of viewers and myself confused about what made it and what didn't make it, or was it just omitted from a press release? I have all the breaking details. Thank you, Timothy Shabbat, for joining me for tonight's recording on Evenings LALATE. We're coming a little bit earlier than promised, but the video before this that went an hour long, in which I delivered a live recording, a live broadcast of the press conference by the president-elect. You and I heard what he announced and how it differed from what he had promised, and also differed from what the pre-press conference statement had said as well. In this video, I'm going to go over what we so far know tonight, our reactions, your reaction, my reaction, what we were promised, and what may still be in there, but we don't know. And then I'll also be covering second stimulus, the confusion about where second stimulus is going. You know, usually I do 2 recordings on Evenings LA. The plan is to do this a little bit more as about third stimulus, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll just do one major long recording, or we do two 30-minute recordings. Maybe we'll do one 1-hour recording, but I think I'll probably still do 2 30-minute recordings. So expect an update at the 15-minute mark, and then one at the 30. Let me open some air in here because it is hot. What a night it is. And what we know tonight is the following, that Joe Biden's pre-release statement about his America Rescue Plan contradicted the press conference that he offered. So let me go over the press conference. But first, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe. Also like this video. Hit that alert button so you get alert when I next go live. Thank you for I think it was 2,000 people were in the room on the video before this. Hopefully you all come back in if you hit that alert. So you got alert when this video went live. And if you've not joined, consider joining by clicking the link at the top of this video. These are the details we know so far tonight. Thank you, Jamera Jones, for becoming a Purple Hawk. I really appreciate it. His press conference tonight detailed the following. 1, a single $1,400 stimulus check. $1,400, which presumably would be $14 for individuals, double that for married couples, $1,400 for children, but $2,000 for adult dependents, with that retro stimulus check back to the spring from the first stimulus package you never got. Next, FPUC going forward from now to, I think it was December, at $400 a week, and extending PUA and UI to December of this year. Third, more SNAP benefits at an amount not disclosed. Fifth, more money for childcare at an amount not disclosed. Then, rent, but he mentioned 14 million renters would get rent, which seems like an error, because 14 million renters is like the amount of a small town. It's not, that's certainly not enough for the entire country. Then he turned to hazard pay and said that he would pay money for frontline workers, but didn't use the word hazard pay necessarily as clearly as you would delineate. Money for small businesses. And that was about it. That was about it. And so we were a little confused. Well, what's going on here? Now, you know what I do best is I prepare you and educate you, inform you, and help you understand where we're going with things. And I told you before the press conference it was going to be a hot mess express. I told you, I said maybe he's just going to get up there and talk about, you know, the wind blowing in the sea, and how the cows grazing on the manger, and America the beautiful, God bless us all. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love you, you love me, and here's my bill. You'll see it Tuesday. I thought it was gonna be a press conference like that. I thought it was just to be sort of like lots of doves flying in the sky and just not, no details at all. It sort of was that. Viewers were prepared to not get a lot of details, and you did not get a lot of details. But what made viewers very confused was that the pre-statements, who I don't know who gave these pre-release statements from, should be fired, because those pre-press release statements said that there was only like 5 items in this package, and then we heard it and there were 7 more items that were not in the pre-press release. We didn't see numbers. We didn't see eligibility. We didn't see range of time. And with that, I totally told you it was going to happen. I said, he ain't going to give you any details. Wait till you see the bill. I said, it's just a press conference. It ain't bill yet. It ain't bill yet. It ain't law yet. It ain't bill yet. So we really have to see the bill. But let me go over each of those one at a time, and let me analyze each of them, what they sound like, and what they may be, what they may not be, and how they contradict what he promised all along. All right, first, the stimulus check. I could go 2 hours on this, but I'm not. The stimulus check, $1,400. He's basically giving you just the Cash Act for 2020? That's sort of ridiculous. He's giving you exactly the Cash Act for 2020. So he's promising you a $1,400 stimulus check, and that's it. He'll see you after the pandemic. That's really insane. I mean, that's ridiculous. Bernie must be livid. Well, I mean, here's my opinion of the situation. I don't want this to turn into too much of a rant video, because I want to give you information. I don't want to give my opinion, so you just don't get any information. But, you were supposed to get a check in March, April, May under the first stimulus package. They took out April, May when they went to finish it. So then they said, we'll give you another stimulus check in May. They didn't give you the one in May. Nancy haggled for months, never got it done. The problem solvers of the fall said 2 stimulus checks. And then finally, people were saying, what should we do? By May, Harris was running for president, now VP, and she said, $1,200 doesn't cut it for 1 month in this country. It doesn't cut it. You need to have $2,000 every month. She actually said it. And I said, is she going to run away for those words when she becomes VP? Apparently she is. Because tonight Joe Biden said that $1,400 would keep a roof over your head and feed your children. Excuse me? $1,400 from May 2020. Well, it's really actually April 2020. To July 2021 will pay your rent and put food on the table. What type of food are you buying for $1,400 to cover you for 16 months? What type of food is this? There's not ramen noodles cost more than ramen noodles every single day for 16 months is more than $1,400. That comment was just ridiculous. It was wacko. It made no sense. I mean, it's if you want to say $1,400, just say it, but don't say $1,400 can keep a roof over your head. It doesn't keep any roof over anyone's head for 16 months. It's ridiculous. Okay, so that one was just like laughable. He said SNAP would be increased, which was really good. It's been a big hit for the viewers of this channel. He just didn't give us a number. So I think he said to December, which was good. I'm really happy about that. Maybe it's the 15% still. I would presume it's probably the 15%, but maybe it's more. And the fact that I went to December that way, I think it was December, that's very good. If you don't know what SNAP is, it's for food. In Hawaii, for example, family of 4, $1,400. On the second stimulus package, Trump gave you a 15% increase of SNAP from now to June, 6 months. So Joe's giving you another 6 months. Not a big stretch. Doesn't cost a lot of money, but that was really quite nice. Let me answer one of the big elephants in the room, and I know I see your comments, and it's mind blowing. Is the SSI and SSDI? It's the SSI and SSDI. As you know, I don't hold up pieces of paper on screen and do screen grabs. I don't do all that because that's not my style. But if you had looked at Biden's transition papers, this is after he won. His transition papers on SSI and SSDI, There's a lot of lines there. How many times have you said to me, explain the 20% increase? I said, I can't explain it because it's so detailed. It's too complicated for me to read on air. I can't remember it. That's how detailed it was. God? Lily, nothing there? So the 20, the SSI and SSDI, it's not there at all? Now, maybe he forgot it. Maybe it's actually in the bill and he just forgot about it. He forgot to mention it. He was whispering. He whispered so much you missed it because it was really quiet. Maybe he whispered the $2,400 you couldn't hear because it was really quiet. I mean, he just kept on whispering all night long. So maybe he whispered the $2,400, we just didn't hear it. I don't know. Maybe he forgot it. Maybe it was, he dreamed about it, and I don't know. It's strange. It's not there. It was sort of like a chasm. It was like, it's there, right? Did I tune in late? Maybe I just didn't hear it. There was that one. The other one that I thought was just like, what? Was the student loan debt forgiveness, the $10,000. He said this on broadcast news on Friday. He said the $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness he would do on day one. He said, I want Congress to put on my table on day one a $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness bill. Okay. Is it supposed to be a different bill? Who was that a different Joe Biden that had that press conference? Wait a second. You just said that 3 days ago. It's not like it was 5 months ago. I mean, we still have I still think I have it on my computer screen. I just like, it's right there. I saw the article. This is like, hello. Are we that forgetful? We forget when we had lunch for yesterday. So that one was really so shocking. It's like, wait a second. People always say, where did you hear this from, LALATE? Okay, that one was obviously everyone heard that because that was everywhere on every broadcast. It was a video of it. So that one was just okay. Grants, and business grants. This was a surpriser. He did mention that he will give, there will be business grants for existing businesses and new business grants. He also talked about artificial intelligence. I think that refers to Mitch McConnell. He talked about artificial intelligence. I think that, yeah, that was referring to Mitch. I just, what's the artificial intelligence part of that press conference? I don't know. But this is where we get sort of confusing, and I think you need artificial intelligence for this, is that what my sources are telling me is the following. Under first stimulus package, you were supposed to be paid the remainder of your $10,000 grant, but we're not because of Jovita Carranza, the former head of SBA. Yes, former. The details you're only hearing on this channel, exclusively tonight, is that the head of SBA, Jovita Carranza, is gone as of tonight. Literally as of tonight, as of the time of this recording. Jovita Carranza is gone. And she was the person who held up your $10,000 grant. The entering new head of SBA under Biden thinks you should have gotten your $10,000 grant. I've been hearing across the board that by Sunday, the SBA website will continue to revamp and change until it has the EIDL grants under second stimulus in there, and that at some point, somewhere in the next few days, you may get an email from SBA to go to a website to confirm your identity, bank account information to get your $10,000 grant. Now, we've been surprised by a lot of stuff. Maybe this is yet another surprise. But throughout the day, the EIDL website, part of the SBA website, was changing. It talked about a new EIDL grant called the Grant Tailored or something like that. I don't know. It's narrowly tailored grant or some crazy word. So they're doing crazy things there. So what I'm reporting is that Jovita Carranza's gone as of tonight. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. It is this is exclusive only to this channel. I'm hearing that the SBA website will be modified between now and Sunday to allow for the grants for agricultural farmers and also the grants for the low-income businesses, and that you'll be paid the remainder of your $10,000 grant. That is the real exciting good news. But that has nothing to do with what Biden did tonight. So let's go back to Joe. So he's talking about new business grants. He didn't say how much. He didn't say what's the eligibility. He gave us absolutely no details. So you can certainly see this is where you need to see the bill. You need to see what this bill is. He may create a totally new business grants. Next, FPUC. FPUC was just God. Oh Lord. FPUC was sort of a joke. He had written in his transition papers. He had said it. His election campaign manager, his economic team said just today it was going to be $600 a week. It's $400 a week because $300 a week was a down payment for $400 a week. What? Makes no sense. Makes no sense. $400 a week. It's just ridiculous. Nancy Pelosi rejected $400 a week in July of 2020 from Steve Mnuchin during the negotiation. Said it was $600 her way or the highway. Never accepted $400 a week, and now he's doing $400 a week. You would have had, had Nancy Pelosi accepted $400 a week, you would have not be homeless, as many of my viewers became, but you also would have had 20 weeks of $400 a week. You would have had $8,000. Nancy Pelosi rejected it because it was not $600, and now he says take $400. And that'll go to December. Hazard pay, the eligibility of it is not clear tonight. He says there will be hazard pay in this bill, so that's as good. But he did not say who, where, how much, how they apply, or anything like that. Next, let's see what else. What else did he surprise us with? I think that was about it. Viewers were really stumped. There was enormous talk about teachers. He talked about teachers almost every 10 seconds. The big surprise was we had heard for 6 months that Nancy Pelosi had to have $900 billion for state and local. That $300 billion was not going to cut it. I told you that that $150 billion would cut it, and that you could offer them double that amount to 300. We call it a day. What did Joe Biden offer? $300 billion. So I don't know how Nancy Pelosi shows her face and says, hey, I'm happy with $300 billion, when she categorically said she needed $900 billion for state and local. She needed $600 a week for FPUC. She rejected things throughout 2020, which now she's supposed to accept fractions of. Not very, very clear. Now at the 17-minute mark, thank you for joining me. Let me give you an update where we are across the board. The big updates we are having tonight is that the third stimulus package of Joe Biden was delivered to press in a live broadcast from Delaware. I carried that live broadcast here on audio on this channel. And the bill is called the America Rescue Plan, ARP. The ARP, the America Rescue Plan. Millions of viewers of this channel think that the plan needs a rescue. The plan needs a rescue. Someone plan a rescue of the plan, because the plan needs a rescue. The plan was debuted first in principle in words before we heard the press conference, and had nothing out there. We were just shocked. And then when we heard the press conference, we're like, oh. So the press conference did not deliver us the bill. It's not bill yet. It's not law yet. And we don't really know what to think until we see it. He says there's some hazard pay in there. There's some business grants. There's some food. There's some rent. Some of these things make me laugh. Rent for 14 million people. I mean, rent for 14 million people is like the Kardashian. It's like one corner of Calabasas. What's 14 million people? Like rent for 14 million people? Thank you, Lloyd, for the super chat. What's rent for 14 million people? That's like nothing. That's like, Fantasy Island has more people on it than 14 million. It's like, what is 14 million people? Rent, childcare, food, SNAP, eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance, FPUC going forward at $400 a week, stimulus check of $1,400. And then missing was SSI and SSDI, FPUC retro, multiple stimulus checks, and student loan debt forgiveness, which he mentioned on Friday. So it's sort of confusing whether it's in there and he just forgot it or it's not in there. We don't know. As we sit here tonight, we need more bacon, says Paula. We do need more bacon. Wow, I'm sweating. So Russell says I'm confused. If you're confused, don't worry, because I'm going to do a Q&A later in this video. What happened to the $2,000 Schumer was talking about? I don't know. Schumer, for 5 months said, I want him on day one to forgive everyone's student loan debts. Tonight, he's not forgiving any student loan debts. On Friday, Biden said, I'll forgive. I went a bill on my table day one for $10,000 to forgive student loan debt. Tonight, he's not forgiving it. Did he forget to forgive? Did he forgive to forget? What's going on? He said that $2,000 would go a long way. Yeah, $2,000 goes a long way. Where? $2,000 covers us for 16 months for rent and food. Really? 1920? I know you're a little bit older, Joe, but when did $2,000 cover you a long way for rent and food for 16 months? What year was that? Maybe the 1800s? I don't know what he's talking about. And that $1,200, that $1,400 could be keep a thing on your head and keep a thing on your shoulder and a thing above your head. And yeah, okay. It did not make sense. Nothing made sense. And it wasn't, it was very sort of, some people said it was creepy. It was a little creepy, but it was also sort of bizarre. I mean, it was just like rescue plan. Yeah, the American Rescue Plan. The rescue plan there needs to be a plan to rescue the rescue plan. What was that? They gave me a super. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Jerry, for the Purple Hawk. I really appreciate it. The rescue plan needs its own rescue plan because it's like. But the announcement of the rescue plan was just. It was a little weird. It was out of touch. It was very, very out of touch. He was talking about stuff that made no sense. Adult dependents. Yeah, I think adult dependents get the 14 or get the $2,000. It's worlds far away. Sirloin could care less. So at the 21-minute mark, let me answer some of your questions. Maybe I can get a sense of what you think, and I get a sense of where the next video should go, because I have a lot to cover, and it's so much to cover. This year, yeah, that's a great question. This year, and teachers for virtual. No, he wanted teachers right into school in 100 days. He wanted the teachers in school. I thought that was a joke. No offense to teachers. No, I love teachers, but I don't know anyone putting their kids in schools. They want them virtual. So what was this thing about spending $50 billion? I don't want to rant because that's not my style. But he was spending like 30% of the bill to retrofit schools for teachers for a virus that's going to be gone in June. What a waste of money. What a waste of money. He wants children back in school in the next 100 days, and he wants to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to change the schools rather than just do it virtual and get people vaccinated, and then we're all back in school in June. I mean, it's like, what are you talking about? What about SSI? Not in there. Or not mentioned, I should say. Not mentioned. Artificial intelligence. What's artificial intelligence? I don't know. I think they're referring to Mitch. I don't know what that is. Marco Rubio. Maybe it's referring to Marco Rubio. Who said it's going to be gone by June? Well, the mass vaccination will have been accomplished by June. So the vast majority of the American public will be vaccinated by June. And by that account, that's what they're going to deem as the end of the pandemic. Meaning the virus will never go away, but Americans will be vaccinated. FPUC retro, no, not in there. Not mentioned. Will there be unemployment extension? Yeah, so he did extend up PUA and UI to December. That was really quite nice. I mean, that's not a reach. He did not mention a word about $200 a month. He did not. He actually did not mention senior citizens at all. He did not mention senior citizens at all. There were certain groups that he talked about 5 times, and then other groups he never mentioned, which I thought was sort of obvious. Robotics. It was very strange that he clearly talked about certain people and that never talked about other people. Adult dependents, he didn't mention them, but we presume they are covered. It sounded like it was Cash Act. Hazard pay, he did mention hazard pay. EIDL grant. He did not mention EIDL grant, but he mentioned business grants for new businesses and existing businesses. I'm covering EIDL grants under second stimulus. That's where my $10,000 reporting is coming from. Will vaccinations be mandatory? No, of course not. Is there additional for $2,400 for veterans? He made no mention of it. There was an eviction moratorium. There was eviction moratorium mortgage forbearance. I'm so confused. What are we getting? So if you're new to this channel, I only tell you what you're getting when we have a law. We don't have a law. We don't even have a bill. We have a press conference. We need to see the bill. Says Boomy Cal, who's a Purple Hawk. I really appreciate that. That's exactly the mindset I want my viewers to be. This is just a press conference. It's a press conference in prime time, and the top time slot you can get as any person is 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on a Thursday night. Prime time about talking about how he's going to help people, but not the details that we would have wanted. So it's not law yet. It's not bill yet. Recap. I'll have a recap at the 30-minute mark in about 5 minutes from now. Where's Schiff, Steve Mnuchin? They're all gone. Schiff is still there. Steve Mnuchin is gone. Yes, Steve Mnuchin's term is gone. Did he speak gibberish? It was just he whispered. He whispered. Calcina grants. No Calcina grants. I heard we're only getting $300 till March, and then after that, $400. Well, don't listen to anyone else. Who you listen to? Why are you listening to someone else? Not law yet. There you go. Not law yet. It's not law yet. It's not a bill yet. No retro. No. Are we getting FPUC, SNAP, and rent? He mentioned all those three. He mentioned FPUC, rent, and SNAP. Yes, he did. Will FPUC be extended? He said yes to December of 2021 at $400 a week. Sirloin grants. No sirloin grants. Can all this be negotiated upwards? Yeah, it's not even a bill yet. It's a press conference. Whispering. It's just a press conference with a lot of whispering. It's whispering. Do you think that Biden will follow through on any of this, or do you think that anyone will block it? Oh, of course they're going to block it. Of course they're going to block it. Why is Michigan getting unemployment yet? Oh, I don't know. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate you. You rock, LA. I appreciate that. Thank you. How did you watch it? If you're on this channel, we had the audio feed. What did I miss? I'll have an update for you at the 30-minute mark. Joe Biden debuted his third stimulus package by press, not by bill, this evening. Not law yet. There you go. It was live. It was live. Did you watch Biden? I did, but I gave viewers the audio. But I mean, you know what he looks like. I mean, why do you have to look at him? He's just gonna stand there and like. That's what he's gonna do. So you don't need the video. You watch me, and the daffodils are more integrity. You can watch the daffodils while listening to Joe. What about regular unemployment? Extending $300 a week? Yeah, they can extend regular unemployment to December, and then give a $400 on top of that. So my wife won't get hazard pay. Why'd your wife say you won't get hazard pay? He did mention hazard pay. He did not mention your wife. He mentioned hazard pay. He did not mention your wife. Sorry about that. So my wife will then again with the wife. Is that someone else's wife with the hazard pay, or it's the same person with the wife with the hazard pay? How much for kids? He would never go into detail like that. This is a politician in prime time. But yeah, I assume the kids will get $1,400. An additional, they'll get a $1,400 stimulus check. Thank you for coming to Purple Hawk. That was Blossom. Thank you so much. Hazard pay from how much for hazard pay? Oh, no details. No details. No, we had almost no. He mentioned no numbers during the press conference. Actually, if I think about it, with the exception of the stimulus check, I don't think he mentioned a single number during the press conference. We had some numbers in pre-release papers, but we had no numbers in the press conference. Except maybe he said the $400 for FPUC, but he only mentioned the stimulus check and I think the $400 during the press conference. There was no other numbers mentioned during the press conference. When does the PUA start? So this would continue the PUA. So your PUA is currently going all the way to March 14th. So this would continue it to December 30th. What happened to that 800 billion? Which 800 billion? I don't know which 800 billion. He mentioned artificial intelligence. Yes, there was money given for artificial intelligence. Oh, there's money given for artificial intelligence. Bernie and Pelosi must have said Bernie Sanders must be hitting his head at the moment, and Nancy Pelosi must be saying, "Don't bring up my old videos because they're gonna roast me. These are things I never wanted to have." What about back pay? Um, Back pay? Which back pay? Hazard pay? Back pay? Yeah, he did mention hazard pay. Someone just asked me if Trump can still sign executive order. He can still sign executive order. You can get Trump to do an executive order, send out a stimulus check, you know. Thank Leanne. Oh, Leanne, how are you? For becoming a Purple Hawk. I really appreciate that. Will adult dependents get anything? I assume they will. I assume they get $1,400 a week. $1,400 as a stimulus check. Any retro FPUC? Not mentioned. No back pay? No, not mentioned. EIDL? No mention of EIDL. But there is a mention of business grants for new businesses and existing businesses. When do you think the bill will be released? The way he's talking, I think I would not be surprised it's released like in the next few minutes. I would not be surprised it's released tonight or tomorrow. God will prevail. Well, I wonder what God's going to say about the bill. Is God going to rescue the rescue bill, the American Rescue Bill? No mention of SSI. No, no mention of SSI. So now at the 30-minute mark, let me give you a big update where we are. You know what I think I'm going to do is the video, I'm going to come back live in 5 minutes after this video ends. And what I'm going to do is sort of prepare you for what's next, because clearly as a Purple Hawk, there's going to be a lot of things that you are eligible for based upon what we so far slightly know from Joe Biden. There are certain items that I know are going to have a certain range of eligibility. So we now can sort of get our pens and papers out and go over the things that you qualify for under the third stimulus package. I know you may have wanted a particular thing and you did not hear it tonight, but there is something mentioned tonight that every single person on this video, of this channel, can qualify for. And some of you can qualify for multiple things that Joe Biden talked about tonight. So what I want you to do is join me in about 5 minutes from now. After this video, I'm gonna come back on live with Purple, and that will be a very one-on-one type of video where I go through the items in Biden's stimulus and which ones you qualify for. Thank you, Theodore Barr, that you qualify for. So you should be really focused on, because it's gonna move very quickly. And then we're also going to continue on what you qualify under second stimulus, because second stimulus is, it's only a few weeks old and you're still qualifying for that. Do we start the hashtags? Yeah, we'll talk about that in the video after this. We do need, we do need hashtags. It's like, hashtag artificial intelligence, who? I don't know. My pen and paper is ready. So at the 32-minute mark, let me give you a big update where we are tonight. What a night it is. I'm shocked. Tonight, Joe Biden announced and debuted to the American people his America Rescue Plan, ARP. And thank you, Thomas, for coming to Purple Hawk. The America Rescue Plan is the third stimulus package. It's the plan that we have been waiting for. And thank you, Aaron, for becoming a Purple Hawk as well. It's the plan that we have been waiting for it seems like a lifetime, 6 months. And it was debuted in a press conference from Delaware that I told viewers going into it. It was going to be a lot of pillows and flowers and teddy bears, and may not have any details to it. And it sort of was that way. It didn't have any details to it. It only had two numbers, one for the stimulus check, $1,400, and one for FPUC, $400. Other than that, we got no numbers. But we did get some details of what's in there. The question of whether this is the entire list, we don't know. We had started the evening with a shorter list, which we thought before the press conference was the total list. It wasn't. So Biden added about 7 more items that were not on the pre-press conference list. Now, if you're a viewer or Purple Hawk of this channel, you certainly know how I prepared you for tonight. I said, he's talking for 30 minutes. He can't cover 6,000 pages in 30 minutes. Who can possibly cover 6,000 pages of a bill? A bill that's going to be 6,000 pages in a 30-minute press conference where he wants to talk about kumbaya and we're one and mwah, 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 cuss you, love you, hug you. Thank you for coming to Purple Hawk the last few years. He's not going to do that. And so he didn't do that. So what do we know so far? We know that there will be rent. Thank you, Patricia, for coming to Purple Hawk. We know there will be rent. We know there will be an extension of SNAP, which is currently under the second stimulus package extended from January to June. He's going to extend it from June to December. He's going to extend PUA and UI, which are currently extended to March 14th to December 14th. He's going to extend FPUC from as well, and that will be $400 a week. We don't know anything about the time frames. We don't know anything about the time frames. When does the FPUC start? When does it not start? We don't know anything about that. Then he said there will be business grants, and there'll be business grants for new businesses and to start up and existing businesses. He talked about childcare. He also talked about the stimulus check. The stimulus check will only be a $1,400 stimulus check, the Cash Act check. That's it. $1,400 for individuals, $1,400 for children, double that for married couple, $1,400 for adult dependents, but that's it. He mentioned hazard pay, but no numbers, and he did not give any other details like SSI and SSDI. We didn't mention it. There was absolutely no mention of the number. He did not mention seniors. He did not mention people on disabilities. He did not mention veterans. He didn't mention you at all as even a group that needed relief. He mentioned teachers almost every 2 minutes in the video. He said ARP will cost $400 billion. Okay. So he did not dedicate any of this money that viewers thought was coming. Now, what's confusing to viewers and myself is whether these items are in the bill. So as you and I have been prepared, and I prepared you, and you're prepared, and I'm prepared, it's not bill yet. It may still be in the bill. All these things that we think are missing may actually be in the bill. We don't know yet. Thank you, Tracy Allen Brown. But the big details that you're hearing from me tonight is that I'm hearing that under the second stimulus package, which is before Biden, the second stimulus package, you will be getting an email potentially as early as a Sunday that says, "Hi, confirm your business account, confirm your account, your routing number, your social security numbers, and whatnot. We're ready to pay you your EIDL grant." And that will be from SBA. An email sending you to a portal to sign in to provide your information. That's what I'm hearing is going to happen by the end of this weekend. As SBA prepares its website to be revamped, I also hear it's changed 3 times today alone. They keep on changing the website, new pages every minute. And Javita Carranza, as of tonight, is gone. Can you imagine? She's gone, but I'm still here. So I will be back here as well in about 5 minutes from now. These are earlier broadcasts than usual on this channel tonight. So make sure you subscribe to this channel, hit that alert button, like this video, and consider joining like those other people just a second ago. The join link is at the top of this video. I'll be back in about 5 minutes to go over which items you can get under this third stimulus package, which items you can get under the second stimulus package, and I'll also be answering your questions on camera. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay about life for more.